Brazil have won the World Cup 5 times, more than anyone else in history, and on one single night in their own country in front of their own fans, they lost 7-1. 7. Let that sink in. This is the story of the worst 90 minutes in Brazilian football history and why it still gets brought up over a decade later. The year was 2014. Brazil were hosting the World Cup the same way the USA, Canada, and Mexico are hosting it right now. Expectation was at its peak. This was supposed to be Brazil's tournament on Brazil's soil, ending with Brazil lifting the trophy at home. In theory, that is exactly how the script was written. In practice, the script fell apart in the first half hour of the semifinal against Germany. Here is where it gets interesting. Germany scored 4 goals in just 6 minutes. Not 4 goals in the match, 4 goals in 6 minutes. One moment Brazil were still in the game, the next moment the scoreboard looked like a typo. Cameras kept cutting to Brazilian fans in the stadium, and you could watch the exact second their faces changed from hope to disbelief to something closer to grief. You know the type of collapse that does not make sense even while you are watching it happen live. This was that, except on the biggest stage football has. By the end of the match, Germany had scored 7 goals. Brazil managed one late, almost as an afterthought. The final score, 7-1, became an instant piece of football history, the kind of result people use as a benchmark for disaster in any sport, not just football. This sounds simple, it is not. The damage went way beyond one bad night. Brazil's entire football identity was built around the idea that they simply do not lose like this. Other teams lose 7-1, Brazil does not. So when it happened, it was not just a defeat, it was a national crisis. Newspapers called it a tragedy. Some compared it to historic national disappointments outside of football entirely. And here is the part that made it sting even more. This happened in the semifinal at home, with a real chance to reach the final on home soil. Germany went on to win the entire tournament. Brazil were left to play a third-place match they clearly did not want to be in, and lost that too. Whether you like it or not, this match changed how people talk about football pressure. Hosting a World Cup is supposed to be an advantage. Home crowd, home conditions, home comfort. But 2014 showed the world that home advantage can also become home pressure, the kind that can break a team in real time on live television in front of the entire planet. Even now, years later, 7-1 is shorthand. You do not need to explain which match, 2 numbers are enough. That is how deep this result went into football culture. So here is the question worth thinking about. As host nations like the USA, Canada, and Mexico carry the weight of this World Cup on home soil, how much of that 2014 lesson is sitting quietly in the back of every coach's mind? Home advantage cuts both ways, and Brazil found that out the hardest way possible.